In this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about what's going on energetically and why so many twin flames are encountering each other, bouncing off each other, running away from each other, reconnecting, and all of that. Hi and welcome back. So I'm going to talk about twin flames because there's more and more activity around that. More and more are connecting because humanity is rising in consciousness. So there's a lot more of that going on. A lot of people have worked on their own stuff, had their own learning and experiences, and sometimes over many lifetimes, and they're ready now to connect. So the reason that's happening is because our vibrations are speeding up all around us, everything is, and that makes things more intense, but also makes things happen faster. So from what I'm seeing, it's like people are bouncing off each other a lot faster too, which can be hard to handle. You know, if you've met your twin flame, you're over the moon, you're feeling delighted, you're in love, and then they run away. That's pretty heart-wrenching. That's pretty hard to deal with, you know. But it can happen because it is the intensity which makes that happen. They just get overwhelmed, and there's a fear of losing themselves, you know, losing their identity, losing control of their lives and things like that. And that can be very, very hard to deal with for people. So there's a lot of that going on. There's also a lot going on where the two people who have worked through that stuff are now reuniting, sometimes after years apart. You know, they may have been together earlier on, and one ran away or both ran away. And since then they've grown, they've learned, they've had other relationships, and they give it another crack. Because one thing that happens when you've had a twin flame connection, you can have other relationships. You can have soul connections. You can have very satisfying and deep and meaningful relationships with another person. Because, you know, not everybody's twin flame is actually incarnated right now. A lot of people are having very good lives without their twin flame. It's not a prerequisite to being happy. It's actually a tool for growth. Twin flames come together to grow, to help each other, to awaken, and to do something amazing together quite often. So to really work on their spiritual growth, and to work with people and to assist people, and you know, or even just by example of what a good relationship can be. But often there's turmoil and there are challenges before they get to that point. And, you know, if you've been with a twin flame and they ran away and then you try and have another relationship, sometimes it just doesn't feel the same. It doesn't have that same energy to it, and that can be hard to deal with too. So, but at the moment, vibrationally, we are at a time where that's happening a lot, and I'm seeing a lot of joy, a lot of twin flames reuniting. I'm also seeing a lot of them bouncing off each other because of unresolved things they still have going on, or just purely because they're completely overwhelmed by the other person, and that can be so heartbreaking. And I've had quite a few clients who've been going through that, and my heart really goes out to them. It's very, very challenging. So try and have faith, you know, if it's meant to be, you'll be together again. That's a given. But sometimes you're not both ready at the same time. And that is unfortunate, but it can happen. So, So if you've met your twin flame, you're sure that's who they are. You know, I've made other videos. Have a look through my lists. What are they called, those lists? Anyway, topics I have, and I have got a whole list of videos I've made about twin flames and soulmates and things like that. The signs of that they are your soulmate, that they are your twin flame, and things like that. So if you've come through that, if you've worked through that, then Yeah, and you've reconnected with your twin flame, and then things go haywire. It's like you reconnect, everything's wonderful and just so wonderful and so intense and so beautiful, and then boom, it's gone. That can be quite shocking. And it can take quite a bit to sort of let that go and go, okay, that's what's meant to be happening right now. I have faith, I have trust that this will work out for the best of both of us, you know. It's just part and parcel of accepting it. But I do feel right now we're at a time where people are connecting more and more frequently with twin flames. And for some reason, yeah, there's quite often a sort of different level of awareness in the two people. And I think that can be one of the biggest challenges, you know, is when one person's very aware of being a twin flame and very aware of what that is and what that means, and the other one's not. They haven't really maybe looked into spirituality so much. That doesn't mean they're inferior, it's just not something they've looked into. They could be a very good and kind and sensitive person, but they just don't quite understand the significance of the connection. So yeah, that can be challenging, and there's no way to make that easier other than trying to come to a place of acceptance and accepting that you're just at different levels of development spiritually. So yeah, that's something really important to remember if it does all go to custard. But if you are lucky and you've met your twin flame and you're together and you can really be open with each other, which is the key. It's like in any relationship, communication is the key, because you are going to push each other's buttons now and then. You are going to trigger each other. And the key to dealing with that is to be very, very upfront and very open and very honest with your partner and tell them exactly what's going on for you. You don't have to over explain it for 2 hours. Just as simple as, I'm feeling really overwhelmed right now, I think I might need to go for a walk, is perfectly okay. But then they know what's going on for you and they're not feeling rejected or pushed away and things like that. So that's one way of dealing with it. But I think we're going to see a whole lot more about twin flames out there in the world, and the social media, in the media and things like that, because it is a big phenomenon and it's becoming more and more prevalent all around us. So yeah, I think it's going to become quite widespread, and it is happening more and more. And I do know quite a few people who are currently not with their twin flame. They know who it is, but for some reason, because one person's going through some issues they need to work on themselves, they can't be together. It's just the way it is. And I know it's hard for them, because the yearning, the desire, the wanting to be with them is very, very strong. But the wisdom to know that the time's not exactly right is also important. So I just wanted to quickly talk about this, because I'm, meeting and encountering so many people who are very, very confused by this whole twin flame thing. Some of social media makes it out to be like a fairy tale, Prince Charming and the princess, and they meet and live happily ever after, which is lovely. I love fairy tales when I was a kid. They're gorgeous, they're beautiful, but they're not really life. So in real life, people have histories, people have emotional wounds, sensitivities, and things like that. That's real. Those buttons are going to get pushed more intensely by your twin flame, and it's not for some horrible reason. It's purely to bring them to your awareness so that you can heal that. And if you're really open with each other and don't attack each other or put each other down, that stuff can be worked through really quite quickly. I've seen it happen with a couple of clients who, once they stopped kind of being defensive and, trying to win, things started working really well, because they were really real and open. And if one felt uncomfortable or overwhelmed, they could just say so and take some time for themselves and have a bit of breathing space without the other person freaking out. that's pretty special when people can do that, but not everybody's right there yet, so yeah. But I do feel a lot of people will meet their twin flames. Just because you haven't doesn't mean there's anything wrong, though. I want you to know that. I've met people whose twin flame is not incarnated. They have a spiritual connection with that person. You can feel that, and often the person feels it too. And yeah, they're still connected, even though, they can't be together physically in this lifetime. They still have that bond. But from a spiritual perspective, if your twin flame is in spirit and not physically here right now, that doesn't mean you have to spend your lifetime alone and can't connect with anyone. From the spiritual perspective, there's no such thing as possessiveness or wanting to claim or own the other person. Your twin's going to quite happily watch you have another relationship, because insecurity and jealousy just don't exist in that realm. It's just not how it works. They want you to grow and do what you came here to do, and whatever it takes, they're happy for you to do that. So don't ever feel like, oh, my twin flame's not here on earth, so I have to be alone for all of my life. No. People have beautiful, calm, happy, very, very loving, very strong connections with soulmates, with soul bonded people, people from your soul connection, from your soul stream, from your soul group, or whatever you want to call that. Yeah, they have awesome relationships, and often much easier than your twin flame connection, especially at the start. So yeah, it can be much more peaceful and certainly very, very rewarding. So don't ever feel like you're missing out just because you haven't met your twin flame. You and your twin flame will be together again. That's a given, whether it's this lifetime or the next, or in spirit, or however that works. You will. But in the meantime, you can live your life and enjoy it and have somebody in your life. It's okay to do that. So yeah, don't deprive yourself of having love, okay? That's a pretty special thing. So yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to have a wee blurb about that. It just kind of occurred to me that I was seeing more and more twin flames and bouncing, and people wondering where their twin flame is and things like that. And I just wanted to clarify a few things with that. And it's not the be all and end all. I mean, we're still whole and complete in ourselves. We're not half a person. It's like they're our complement vibrationally, but they're also whole and complete, and so are we. So it's not like you're deprived or, can't grow or can't learn things without your twin. You can. So anyway, make a comment below if you've got anything that relates to that. If you're with your twin flame, if your twin flame's done a runner, which happens. I've made a video about the twin flame runner too, because it is very, very common. And yeah, lots of love to you all, and see you next time.